It's Losie's from Losie's Library. Hey everyone, what's going on? That is not my Coke in the back there. That is my partner's Coke. Um, just just so we clear that up. I just wanted to talk today about. I was going to write about a post. This is like I said, I don't get it part two. A couple weeks ago, I wrote about just some random things I don't really understand. And I was going to continue that today with I Don't Get It Part 2. And what I was going to talk about is, well, today, for example, I have been watching a lot about women who've been abused. Men get abused too, but I just happen to see a lot of things about women getting abused today and how they go back to the guys until ultimately they end up being killed or dying. Um, and it's just something that really disturbs me because I don't understand that. Like, I will always stand up for these women. I will always be there for them. I think it's wrong to hit anybody in, like, when it's, except when it's an accident, but when you're abusing someone, it's just wrong. Like, there's no black and white about that. It's wrong. You don't hit people out of anger or, or jealousy or anything like that. And it got me thinking. I saw one program, I saw an SVU episode, then I saw on Foxtel on the Crime Channel, and then I saw a news report about it, about a woman being killed by a partner. And I think about the women in my life, and I think there's so many of them that just have this this bad thing in them where they keep going, like, they're not dating these guys, but nearly every single woman that I know in my life who's older than me and is a big influence on me, I started to realize they have like a male in their life that they're obsessed with, and they're not in love with them apparently, but they they allow these men to treat them badly and to do things, and I don't get it because they keep running back, but at the same time saying, oh, I'm over them, they're not affecting my life, and they are. And I don't get that way of thinking. I was talking to one of them a couple of nights ago where they said ever since, like, one of them has this guy, this male friend she hangs out with who's clearly in love with her, but she hangs out with him one-on-one all the time, and I don't understand that at all. She knows that the guy has feelings for him, and her whole thing is, oh, I keep telling him I'm not interested, but then she goes and hangs out with him one-on-one. This is a guy who thinks a girl saying hello to him means she's in love with him. But anyway, a few weeks ago, a couple months ago, and I still can't believe she's friends with this guy after this. He lives probably a 10-minute drive from her house. And we were convinced that he would be driving past the house, but we just put it down to our paranoia because this is someone that I stay with a lot. And there was one time she was home on the weekend. I think it was the weekend. It might have even been the Christmas holidays around that time. I think it was just before Christmas. It was just before Christmas, so it must have been the weekend. She was having a shower, and all of a sudden there was like this loud banging, repeated banging over and over and over again. And she thought, oh God, I've got to get out of the shower. That sounds really bad. So she runs down, and it's this guy, and he's like, who was that? And she was like, what are you talking about? She said, oh, I saw the guy in the suit come into your house. And she was like, well, if she was sort of like, well, I've been in the shower for the past 20 minutes and no one has come in. So he goes, he just gets all like, oh, okay. And like she said, well, you could, like, no, you invited someone into your house. So she lets this guy into her house to prove that there's no other person in there. Not that she needs to justify herself. And ever since then, she's been like, her home was her safe unit. And ever since then, she's gotten really paranoid. But she still sees this guy one-on-one. And she goes, oh, he had, like, we were talking about it the other day, and she goes, oh, he hasn't won. He's not won. I was like, yes, he has. He has won. He did a really terrible thing. You now live in fear in your own home, and you still go and see him one-on-one. and he hasn't apologized for it. He apologized for accusing her of someone in there being in the house. Even though they're not dating, she has no reason to justify, and even if she did have a guy in the house, none of his business. And yet she's sitting there saying, oh no, he hasn't won because he doesn't know that he hasn't won. And I'm like, yes, he has. And I said it straight out. I said, yeah, he has won because you've done nothing. And she's been doing this. He's always been a prick. But they've known each other for like probably half my life. And, well, actually all my life. He's a few years older than me. And, he's always been like that. Like, this was an extreme case, but he's never been the type that's just been silent about how he feels. So, I'm like, no, he's won. The fact that you went back over there, you haven't made him apologize, you haven't talked to him about it, yeah, he's won. Like, she's supposed to be friends with his mother. And that's the reason why I think she always tries to keep him happy and stuff like that, because she actually likes his mother. But I don't get it. I don't understand that. And then there's another, like, that to me is insane. Like, that's completely nuts. I would have ended being friends with this guy years ago. But after that, no way. There's no way I would go and hang out with that person. She didn't even make him apologize. She hasn't said that they even talked about it. So, to me, it's a bit like, what the heck are you doing? And then there's another woman I know who's older. And it's amazing what's come out in the last couple of years as I've gotten older and people like talking to me more. And there was a family friend, and he's a jerk. He's just a jerk. He's actually a twin, and we're friends with both of them. They're identical twins, and we're friends with both of them, but one of them in particular, she got on better with at the time. And then he just decided he didn't want to be friends with her anymore. So, I get that would hurt, and I get why you would keep going on about that, but that was like 7 years ago, and she brings him up every single time. People keep telling her things. I don't know why she hasn't said just stop. He's blocked her from things. He's actually said to her, like, she makes these cookies, or no, they're not cookies. These Christmas things anyway, and this Christmas food. She does it every year. It's really yummy. And he said to her, he sent her a message through someone else saying he didn't want them last Christmas. And so she made more for his brother and said, well, you know, you get more this year because someone didn't want them. And it's like, why do you need to do that? And then there was another woman. Like, the thing is, the last couple of years has been absolutely shocking to me in regards of, like, women and just allowing these men to control them in that way. It is control. It's like, every single woman that I've discovered more and more and more about, I've sort of started to lose a little bit of respect for them, because it's like, the stuff they're doing, I would just never allow. Like, I would not make more for one person, like more, what are they called? It's gonna annoy me. I would not make more for someone else and then make the comment about, well, you get more because so-and-so doesn't like me and doesn't want. It's like, well, why would you think you could give them to them anyway? They don't want to be your friend. They've literally told you this. They've literally said to you, I don't want to be your friend. You think, like, it's crazy. It's insane. And then I found out recently about a cousin of mine. I didn't realize all this stuff had happened to her, but the guy that she ended up getting married to and having a couple of kids with, and now was stuck with him for life, he moved to Melbourne. He didn't want to be with her anymore. And she moved to Melbourne to be with him, to try and get him back. And I was just like, why would you do that? He moved interstate to not be with you anymore. So, this last couple of years, when it's come to women in my inner circle, I've been really shocked by it. I've been really, and I don't understand it at all. the closest I've come to allowing a guy to treat me like that badly, I stayed with him because I lost my grandfather. I didn't like he wasn't actually he wasn't the one bullying me, it was his roommate. He just wasn't doing anything about it, and he just blamed me for it. He said it's all my fault, I caused the trouble. And I lost my grandfather, so I didn't really want to lose anyone else. But what I did learn from that, though, is that it doesn't matter who you lose. Like, if I lost my mom or my dad or my brother or whatever, I know that if my partner has been a jerk, I know that I can break up with him. It doesn't matter if I've just lost someone really big to me. But I actually learned from that relationship. I haven't then gone on, like, 5, 10, 20 years later and still going, oh, he totally hasn't won. It's like, no, he has. He totally has. Or I've let go of him. It's like, no, you haven't. You keep making Christmas stuff for him. And he said to you like 10 years ago he doesn't want to be friends with you. Or he moved interstate to get away from you. You know what I mean? And then I found out the only reason he got married to my cousin was because his father pushed him into it. Because my cousin's a cat. She is a cat. But that's the thing. Like, why didn't she recognize that? Everybody else recognized it except for this guy and herself. And I don't understand why people think like that. None of the women I know that are going through this deserve to be treated that way. They're all really amazing individuals, and it's so frustrating to me because I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I do not get it at all. I don't understand. I don't understand it. And I would love for someone to explain to me why it is the way they think that way, because then I can turn around and help them even more. I don't get it. I don't. Well, I'm sure you have. If you've been a regular reader of mine recently, you'll know that I lost some friends at the beginning of the year because I chose to stand up to my friend's abuser. And it's just things like that, like when she accused me of she didn't like the way I treated me the last couple of years, i.e. I stood up to her abusive boyfriend, but, she obviously loves the way he treats her because she's staying with him. It was sort of like, how can you possibly say that to someone? How can you possibly say that someone's has treated you worse than your... Like, it makes no sense. I don't understand it. I really, really would love to understand that, because then maybe I can, I don't know, not convince them to change their minds, but make them understand a bit better. Yes, he has won. Yes, you are obsessed with him. You're not letting it go. And just, why don't you like yourself enough to realize that you're better than that? Like, why don't you realize that, like, I don't hate any of my exes. I don't trust a couple of them, but I don't hate any of them, because I don't know if they're that bad, because I never allowed it to get that bad. I left before it got worse. So I don't understand. I wish someone could explain that to me. I wish it, like, it's one of the reasons I want to be a psychologist. I never will, because I don't want to understand the dark mind. But I just wish someone could explain to me why these women, like, they're so amazing. Like, it's irritating. Like, it's so irritating to me that these women are this amazing and they are allowing this to happen. They're allowing it. So if any of you... This is why I didn't want to write about it, because I was like, so frustrated. I just want to shake them and go, you are better than this. You are so worth more than this. So if someone out there can explain it to me, I would love to know, because I just wish that if I could understand more, I could help them. That's what I think it is. So this one I will allow comments for on my YouTube. Yeah, so please help me understand. And I'll see you around. Bye.